Hi folks, this is all the fruit. It's the month of June, and so let's get some Juneberries. What's the Juneberry? I don't know about people in the US or Canada, but here in Germany, most people have no idea what the Juneberry is or that it's edible. So let's first explain about the Juneberry. The Juneberry, the genus Amelanchier, is found in different parts of the northern hemisphere. Here in Germany, there is one species, Amelanchier ovalis, in the wild. It's quite rare in some parts of Germany. You can also find it in like southern Europe. It's usually quite a small shrub growing on cliffs and rocks with, edible but not very tasty fruit. The German name is Felsenbirne, which literally means cliff pear, but since in the old German language the words for pear and berry, like in the English language, were pretty much the same, it basically means cliff berry. Well, this is not the German or the European species. This is the American species, Amelanchier lamarckii, from the eastern United States and Canada. This Amelanchier lamarckii has a very interesting international history. Well, it was first cultivated in the eastern United States and Canada. Then it was brought to Europe as an ornamental and also as a fruit shrub, where it actually escaped into the wild. And then some of those escaped forms from Europe were reintroduced into North America as ornamentals and fruit shrubs. There is especially one area in the north of Germany, in the area of Oldenburg. This was an area too cold and too wet to grow grapes, but people still wanted to have raisins for the Christmas cake. So they started cultivating this Juneberry and drying the fruit and using them for raisins in a Christmas cake. Well, nowadays in Germany this plant is everywhere. The Juneberry is one of the most popular ornamentals, especially, well, here the different city councils, especially in Heidelberg, they like it a lot. They plant it everywhere. I mean, it has very nice flowers in spring, nice fruit, which are also good for birds and quite colorful. And also, if you are lucky in autumn, it gets a nice yellow, reddish, orangish color. But what most people don't know is that it's also edible. So let's finish talking and start trying this Juneberry. This is actually a variety that's a little bit tart. The taste reminds me of aronia. Sometimes they plant those slightly tart Juneberries, which you can imagine like a very mild aronia fruit. But most of the stands which are being planted here, they don't have the slightly tart taste. They are sweet, basically something in between a blueberry and a plum. And when they are really ripe, they can be really sweet and pleasant. Oh, there's a stink bug. Okay, got rid of the stink bug. And he did not manage to stink up my Juneberries. Very good. Yeah. The tart variety is quite good, but I actually prefer the sweet variety. I even once tried to dry those Juneberries. I dried quite a large amount of them. When dried, they are not particularly sweet for some reason. I don't know why. They are much less sweet than raisins. And also when they are dried, the big seeds make it a little bit hard to chew them. Basically, most of the time you chew on the seeds. Well, the seeds, let me try to... Come on, where are the seeds? Okay, warning, now you'll see my chewed up Juneberries which I just spit out. So, the seeds are the little brownish things in between the black matter here. They are quite large compared to a lot of like blueberry and other berry seeds. And of course, like most rosaceae, or all rosaceae seeds, they contain cyanic acid. So I guess if you eat a couple handful of those berries and always chew the seeds, well, I don't know what the harmful or lethal amount of cyanic acid is, but just don't try to chew hundreds of those seeds in one sitting. When you chew them up, you'll taste a very faint taste of bitter almonds. Of course, they are much smaller than bitter almonds and much less bitter than bitter almonds, but still don't overdo it on them, or on cherry seeds or apple seeds or whatever. It's quite hard to poison you with rosaceae fruit seeds, which are... Oh, there is another stink bug. Okay, I guess they like this, those plants. It's quite hard to poison yourself with rosaceae seeds which are not very bitter, but still it's not impossible. So if you eat larger amounts of those berries, try not to chew up all the seeds. Strange, those stink bugs are not even stinky. Usually you have a stink bug in a handful of berries, you can throw away the whole handful. Well, folks, those were the Juneberries. A really nice ornamental, which is also edible and quite tasty. If you live in Europe or in North America, you can try to find them in a park or even in the wild. Just don't confuse them with any poisonous berries. They look pretty similar to the edible aronia and to the edible North American blueberries, but they also look similar to some poisonous shrubs. So please be careful. Don't overdo it on the seeds. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the parks and gardens of Germany. And don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.